And we're going to call Baltimore final as I sit alongside the two-time Super Bowl champ. B-Mac, this was a hard-fought game, and you saw situationally, I think, some growth from Washington once again. What was the difference between these two teams with so much similar in your eyes?
When you talk about the similarities, both teams came in today's matchup, you know, scoring. Washington, they were #1 in the National Football League in points scored, and the Baltimore Ravens were top 6. But then when you look at rushing, right, they were both 1 and 2. Baltimore #1, Washington Commanders were #2. Today, the Ravens, their running game showed up. For the Commanders, they did not. Look at Baltimore's defense, what they did against Washington offensively running the football. Only allowed 52 yards on the ground. That's outstanding, dominating performance. But when you look at what Baltimore was able to do with the king at the helm, I mean, 132 yards on 24 attempts, 2 touchdowns. That was the deciding factor. When you look at losing by 7 points, if you're the Commanders, you came into this game 4-1 because of your rushing attack, the balance that you were able to display on the offensive side. You became one-dimensional, and good luck in thinking you're going to be successful for 4 quarters being one-dimensional against the Ravens on the road. I feel like that was the deciding factor when you look at Baltimore coming out on top.
I don't know if it's possible to say quietly Lamar Jackson has really silenced some of those that had questions still, for whatever reason, about his ability to pass the ball. But again, overshadowed, let's say, by King Henry and what he was able to do, making up a lot of this offensive production from a percentage-wise, Mac. I don't want to go negative here on a positive day for Baltimore, but at what point do you have to start thinking snap count, load management? I mean, you need this guy fresh for the stretch run in Derrick Henry because he is so much of that offensive identity.
Derrick Henry is one of the few backs, when you look at his experience in the National Football League, where you don't ever have to monitor a pitch count, put him on a pinch count. You look at his offseason regimen. The guy is running with trucks. He's pulling tires up hills.
Time is his advantage.
He doesn't eat any carbs. He doesn't eat any, you know, fried food.
No cheesecake for lunch?
No cheesecake for lunch. This guy's ready to go. He wants the volume, and he gets better when he gets the volume. So when you look at the investment they gave him to come to Baltimore, it's paying out big time, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. And then when you factor in Lamar, quietly, because his game was quiet. It was effective, but it was quiet. 323 yards throwing the football. And get this, Zay Flowers was the feature guy in the passing game, but finally fantasy owners have something to applaud when it comes to Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews finally showed up in the passing game, and I said this a few weeks ago. When you look at the stat sheet, you didn't see Mark Andrews show up, but he was significant in the blocking concepts running the football. And now he's starting to show up in the aerial attack. We know about Isaiah Likely and how likely it is for him to make big-time plays, but when you add Mark Andrews into the fold as well, this will be a high-powered offense.
That is an effective 12 package if you got both of those tight ends playing at their elite level. That's 671 yards through the air these last 2 weeks for Mr. Action Jackson.
671.
He's spinning that thing. Don't let 22 deceive you. He is spinning. What'd you have for lunch?
We're talking about Lamar.
He had cheesecake for lunch. Let's talk about Eaton on the other side of this one, because Jayden Daniels continues to dazzle. It's the second loss of his career, yes, but puts his team in a position to succeed once again, confident with those throws in the middle of the field. I know he started at such a high point, but where are you seeing some of that growth from that already very respectful spot he started at?
I was really excited to see Jayden Daniels in this atmosphere, playing against a playoff caliber, championship caliber team in Lamar Jackson. And he didn't disappoint. Look at those numbers. I mean, 269. I would love to see more rushing because they could not run the football. They really missed Brian Robertson, right? Not having him in the fold really hurt their running game. But outside of that, man, Jayden Daniels, for a rookie going against the beast he went against, he did what he was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Only thing you would want to see more from Jayden was improvised running. I think he's really at his best. Their offense, they're at their best when he's doing that. But outside of that, man, I applaud the rookie for going out and fighting for 4 quarters. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to win.
Let's take a look at that box score one more time here as we are final with the Ravens and the Commanders, and what was our game of the week on CBS, 30-23, and Lamar Jackson, 323, nearly 700 passing yards his last 2 games combined. And for more on this matter of present and future, now a matter of the past, we say hello to the here and now. Tony Romo, we welcome him in from the game of the week. Tony, this was unbelievable stuff. So much fun to watch it play out. I want to start here on the losing side, as we don't often, but Jayden Daniels keeping his team in striking distance throughout this one. How has he excelled so quickly in your eyes to this point?
Well, I think it's a combination of things, not just one thing. He has the skill set to be able to actually do the stuff he's doing. But a lot of it is his just commitment and work ethic. I mean, he's the first one in the building, truly. I mean, he's there by 5 a.m. every day. He does his own stuff at 6 o'clock in the morning. He goes out on the field in the indoor facility with his coaches and goes through and reps everything before people even get to the building. And I just think when your leader goes out there and shows that type of commitment, it's just fosters to everybody else on that team. And his accuracy, precision, poise, I mean, it's like he's a veteran, and this is just so rare to see a young guy be able to have, you know, this many boxes checked already.
I want to talk to you about that layer of poise and maybe one further, demeanor. His demeanor seems so calm and collected. What does that do for a young quarterback that's trying to still learn even behind those very comfortable eyes, let's call them?
Well, I think you got to give credit to the entire situation to start. So you hire the right people. Josh Harris comes in. He gets Adam Peters, who I think is an incredible GM, and then you go and get Dan Quinn, and then he hires Cliff Kingsbury, and then the coaches, and then all of a sudden you draft Daniels. And right there, the communication between them, they brought some of the LSU stuff, getting on the ball, no huddle, and they motion and have checks. I mean, that is a lot to put on the plate of a young quarterback, and for him to be able to handle that just speaks volumes of his commitment and work ethic and football knowledge. I mean, he's a football junkie. And then you add in the skill set, some of the God-given abilities with, you know, his speed and then his pacing. He's just he's a unique talent in a lot of ways, and I think his future, like I said, he's a future MVP.
It's certainly special, and it's been great to watch it play out early on here as we do have those relative points of Lamar to Daniels on the same field. It was a great moment for the game to have these two going at it the way they were. Let's talk about the Ravens, because from 0-2 to 4 in a row now, this is a team that looks to be back on track with their long-term designs. You and Jim talked about it at halftime, maybe getting a better idea of what it's going to take to slow or stop them. Did you get any further answers here in the second half?
It's going to be tough. I mean, the only way I see a team slowing them down is a team who has great corners or safeties, somebody who can defend man-to-man without any help, almost as if you're running cover zero all at pressure, because you're going to have to allocate resources and personnel near the line of scrimmage, because as soon as you get a guy who can run the ball like Lamar, you always have to bring a guy out of coverage to go help, whether he's the rat player or a safety in the middle of the field. And so when you do that, you leave space for all the receivers. And so there's just no great answer from a math perspective. I would actually say a team who has one or two corners who are playing at a very high level gives you a chance. But even then, you still got to tackle Derrick Henry. And John Harbaugh, Todd Monken, they know how to get leverage. And it's really difficult when you have three options on one play of a running play. It's like a screen, a run, quarterback keep, and it's like, ugh.
You better pack some nasty. I think that's what we take away from trying to slow down this Ravens team.
You got to go tackle him.
Tony
Who
Romo
wants to tackle Derrick Henry? Who wants to tackle Derrick Henry?
It is a tall task, and one that was not met, at least to the point it needed to be here on Sunday. Tony, we appreciate you stopping by every single Sunday, our game of the week on CBS.
Thanks, guys.
And don't forget, each and every Sunday starts 12 Eastern time with the NFL Today. Our crew setting the stage for a day worth of action on the network. It's coming your way every Sunday, 12 Eastern time on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.